Welcome back. So far we've discussed CBA Section 5J and our recommendations on how to prepare for a phone call to crew scheduling when you plan to exercise your OTP rights. Your call to exercise OTP can result in a variety of outcomes depending on whether there are trips available whose trip for pay values fall within your priority range. If trips are available, then there are three possible outcomes. First, you pick one or two trips whose combined trip for pay values falls within your priority range, which is taken from your domicile's monthly open time. Or if insufficient trips exist in your domicile, then from another domicile's monthly open time, with paid deadheads to and from your domicile for each trip. The deadheads will be paid. However, the total trip for pay value of the out-of-domicile trip plus paid deadheads must fall within your priority range. Note that per 5J2, you are only required to find one trip within your range. However, you have the option of choosing two. Second, scheduling offers a single trip, which has a trip for pay value that falls within your priority range. Again, from your domicile monthly open time first, and then from other domiciles with paid deadheads. Third, per 5J4, you may choose to decline a pairing offered by the company. By doing so, you forfeit the right to pay protection under the OTP rules. This is why we highly recommend that you have a list of available monthly open time trips handy prior to making the call to crew scheduling. If there are no trips in your domicile or out of domicile whose trip for pay values fall within your priority range, then the scheduler might suggest that you continue to check monthly open time for trips that fall within your priority range and call back if you find one. However, it is always at your discretion. Remember that only one call is required to comply with OTP rules. With no trips in your range available, you have two more options. First, a single trip offered by crew scheduling that has a trip for pay value less than your open time priority range. The difference between the lower end of your range and this single trip will then be placed on your CWA board with a paid non-fly credit. Second, if crew scheduling does not offer any trip within your open time priority range or less, then a paid non-fly credit equal to the lower value of your priority range is placed on your CWA board at the time of the call. You have until the close of monthly open time at noon Central on the 24th to comply with these OTP rules. Finally, per 5J4, the results of the call are required to be posted at the time of the OTP assignment is made to ensure your projected pay is correct for CAP purposes. You should never be told that the OTP assignment, whether a single trip or multiple trips or a paid non-fly LG credit, will be posted at some time other than right after the call.